morning, good afternoon, good evening, good whatever it is, wherever you are. My name's Katie O. This is Moon Mama Musings. Welcome back to my living room for another astrology people. For today, the 1st of October, 2021, waning crescent moon, which transits the sign of Leo at 7:54 a.m. Bangkok time. And my dears, we have a real mixed bag. A little bit of this, a little bit of that, a little bit of everything. Usually we deal with a lot of moon transits. Today we've got a little bit of moon, a little Venus, a little this, a little that, a little, oh my god, it's everything. It's a tout ski, as we would say. It's tout ski dans le frigo, everything in the fridge. It's like when somebody says, hey, what kind of soup is this? And you just kind of like took little scraps of this and that and something that was frozen and the base from a soup that you had made a few weeks ago and you kind of put it all together. It's an everything soup. Everything in the kitchen sink. We got all that stuff going on today. And it's certainly a mixed bag in terms of our emotions and our feelings. Okay. The cusp between Cancer and Leo can often be a little bit of a challenging one. When water moves to fire, or when water becomes fire, there's intense. It's intense, all right? Yeah, imagine trying to make water burn, yeah? Not an easy thing, not an easy task. So it ends up stirring up a lot of emotion. It's like why have I got the image of a lion with a sore foot or a sore tooth or something? It's a cartoon with a lion with a sore thumb, I think. Or is it a tooth? I can't remember. Either way, it's like the lion kind of has a hard time coming into itself. Like Wizard of Oz, the cowardly lion is, at the end he's like, yeah, I got this, but, doesn't really start off so good. Yeah, that's the kind of energy of today. It's a all right. First and foremost, we have Venus in the sign of Scorpio, squaring Jupiter retrograde in the sign of Aquarius. And I heard that our desire to change and expand is just overriding our discomfort with death right now. So Venus is not super comfortable in the sign of Scorpio. Scorpio is the sign of death and rebirth. It's a Pluto ruled sign, which sex, death, rebirth, transformation, all of those things. It's very intense. And Venus likes to keep things a little on the lighter side. It's kind of like, oh, a lady would never, And a square is a challenge. It's an obstacle. It's something big. And Jupiter, the sign of, or the planet of expansion and growth and luck, when it's retrograde in the sign of Aquarius, just like does things a little bit differently. It makes changes still, but very differently, more calculated, more innovative, more efficiently. So like I said, it's like even though Venus isn't super comfortable with this transformation and all this rebirth, it's like we're kind of going, okay, I'll give, because I'm just like I'm more uncomfortable staying where I am than undergoing some sort of an unknown at this point. It's really is the final realization of like, I really can't go on this way anymore. I can't. The moon is opposite Saturn. All right, and we're still feeling very sore about all of this karmic alignment we've been going through. Sorry for the noisy bike. Lots and lots of karmic alignment lately with Saturn in retrograde, but Saturn is about to come out of retrograde. Saturn's also in the sign of Aquarius in retrograde. And the moon opposite to it, it's a push and pull. It's a tug of war between these two energies. So like I said, we still feel very sore about this karmic alignment. But we really are starting more and more every day to recognize that this energy, albeit uncomfortable, is necessary, and that it's an uncomfortable means to a very appropriate end. All right. I'm hearing that you're conquering your fears, right? So the cowardly lion conquering his fears. Mm-hmm. It's really. It's the moon in Leo, right? Leo is the sign of strength. It's the sign of courage. It's the sign of the self. Yeah. But in order to really, truly be exalted in it and not be too in our ego in the sign of Leo, we have to be in our heart space. And in order to be in our heart space, we need to often clear out some things that scare us and that we close off our heart to because we're afraid of them. Yeah. If we're afraid, we don't have an open heart space. It's only when we truly feel comfortable and safe that we allow that to open. And this moon opposite Saturn is really about conquering our fears once and for all. The sun is in a trine with Black Moon Lilith, and this is that recognizing the character building. Again, it's kind of reiterating, but it's recognizing the character building aspect of these difficult scenarios. So this is kind of it's solidifying, it's backing it up. It's the moon and the sun are really on the same page as this now. The masculine and feminine are on the same page, right? It's but these two things are kind of saying the same thing twice, right? The sun is being in a trine with Black Moon Lilith, is being expanded by our wounds and our shame, the things that we might have been ridiculed for or whatever. And the moon in the sign of Leo is opposite Saturn, which is the karmic planet, which pushes and pulls in order for our subconscious to come more into sense of strength. So it's kind of like very similar energies said two different, very, 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 very different ways. But I'm being called to go back to an energy of what didn't kill me made me stronger. From a few days ago, there was, oh boy, what peephole was it? I feel like it was down here somewhere. It's from at least a week ago, but I can't remember when it was. But either way, it's a resurgence of that what doesn't kill me makes me stronger energy. And this recent cycle that we've been really struggling with, soon closing out or already closing out or in the process of closing out, it is bringing us this sense of luck and gratitude. It's like we're starting to feel like, oh wow, I really am in a beautiful place. I really am lucky. And if you're not yet there, if you don't feel good about it still, or you're not feeling grateful for the hardships that you've been through, there is some still healing that you have to do with them. The sun is about the ego, right? And the trine with Black Moon Lilith can mean that we still have to get our sun to shine light on those wounded parts of ourselves, those places where somebody might have told us, no, 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 ladies don't do that, or little boys don't do that, or whatever it may be. So it's coming to terms. Whatever it is, it's coming to terms. Mercury is in a square with Pluto. And this makes me nervous, all right? I feel like Pluto retrograde and Mercury retrograde having a party together is a bad influence. This is like that kid that your mom didn't want you to hang out with when you, like the group of friends that your mom really didn't like you hanging out with because they thought they were a bad influence, you know? It's a bad influence, okay? It's just, all right? I see, this is trouble. This looks like trouble anyway. And we're going, oh my God, this is very bad. Yeah, it looks like trouble. Dennis the Menace kind of vibes. A square is an obstacle, right? A challenge. Sorry, my foot's really itchy and I don't know. I'm very sorry, my foot's itchy. My left foot makes a difference. Reminds me of the High Priestess card in the Ganesha deck. So something changing is making us speechless, actually, tongue-tied. We're malfunctioning. Error 404. We are backtracking. We are overthinking. Whatever it may be, etc., etc. Is Mercury is in retrograde, right? So this is quite challenging energy in and of itself. And then we've got the square, which is a challenge or an obstacle, and we have Pluto, which is all about death and rebirth and transformation. So this is just like you are completely dumbstruck. You are completely like you're just arrested development. Like sorry, my left ear ringing. No big deal. Really loud. Maybe that's a sign for some of you, but not fun. My left foot's itchy. My left ear's ringing. What's wrong with me? Our feminine side is getting a real kind of energy, but we're completely dumbfounded. Seriously, we're dumbstruck. This is like complete deer in the headlights. You have absolutely no fucking idea what to go on. So if today you are very taken aback by something, don't be surprised. Mercury and Pluto shouldn't be allowed to hang out with each other, but hey, they are, and it's funny because like I actually in my birth chart I've got a lot of Mercury and Pluto ruled signs, like lots of them. So I've always kind of laughed and talked about how I'm basically the Grim Reaper. Like it's a really convoluted energy. But Mercury and Pluto, it's like you wouldn't think that these things should go together, but they do end up actually working out pretty well. Yeah. So I'm getting this very strong vibe from Mercury squaring Pluto that it's like this is rejection is divine protection. This is perfect timing, perfect places. This is everything working out exactly the way that it needs to. Remember the Mercury retrograde energy, though. It's what I was talking about at the beginning of Mercury retrograde. Sometimes we have to be very careful to not make decisions because we might not feel the same way in a few weeks. But either way, you need to make whatever decision you're being called to make, or whatever transformation you're being called to make, even though it might not be long lasting. You must do it. You must. Mars is opposite Chiron, and this is going back to what I was saying up there. We know that what doesn't kill us make us stronger, and at this point, knowing that, do we really want to let our old wounds get the better of us? That's what it is. Do we really want to let that situation that is long finished continue to dictate how we look forward? Like, do we really want to let our past hold us back? It's that really, 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 do we really want to do that? Really? Okay, really? Really? Do you really want, are you sure? Are you really, really sure? And then the thing is that as a response to that, really, 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 are you really sure? I heard, got to try a little tenderness. So maybe you guys have got to pour a little bit more of this Libran energy, of this tenderness, of this compassion into it. Mars in Libra is about how, like, Mars is the warrior, right? But this is a warrior that wears pretty flowers in his hair, and it's just like, it does things completely differently. It still gets the battles fought. It still gets to say, it's like a placebo, right? It might not actually have any active ingredients in it, so to speak. But if it does the trick, it does the trick. Okay? If it does the trick, it does the trick. And that's all that matters. Okay? Baby steps, though. I'm still hearing very much baby steps. Today is mad. It's madness. So, baby steps. Okay, I've got a little bit of the tea leaf deck. I didn't take it all out. I just took some of it. We get your card of the day from our tea leaf fortune telling cards. A tea leaf never likes to be on its own. It's like Bob Ross, like a happy little tree. It's gotta have some friends. Let's get another one. Thank you. Okay, we got two. Oh my. Okay. So this is energy. This is interesting because when I was talking just now, I had this kind of deja vu flashback, like I was talking about in yesterday's People, to the previous live that I've done. I'm going to do live today on Instagram at some point. But the previous live for the transit through Cancer, I talked about these two cards came up, and I was thinking as I was just talking, oh, it reminds me of something I said in that live. So here they're bringing back two energies that they want you to look at, and they are very dualistic energies because, like, hey, cats and dogs don't get along, all right? Cats and dogs don't get along, I heard. Cats and dogs just don't get along. All right, let's start with this dog. Close up. Pleasure with a close friend, all right? And the boot. Increase your efforts if you want to achieve your goal. Some of you guys are looking to reconcile with somebody. With a close friend, you want to be able to have a party, you want to go line dancing, I don't know, some of you guys are cowboys maybe, but either way, you want to experience some sort of a pleasure with a close friend, and if you really do want it, you got to work a little bit harder, okay? There's more work to be done. And here we have the cat, a two-faced friend, and an unsuccessful plans. So the thing is that cats and dogs don't get along, right? And look, I love all animals, all right? I will admit I'm more of a dog person, so maybe I'm a bit more biased in this, but even my friends that are cat people can admit cats are assholes, all right? I like cats very much, but they're assholes, right? A dog is extremely loyal to cat. It does its own thing, and whatever. I love this saying. A friend of mine told me this once. They said, a dog thinks that you're God because you feed it. A cat thinks that it's God because you feed it. All right, so that's the energy. If there's something that's extremely loyal to you just inherently, and it's beautiful and it's lovely and it's what you really want, and you want to have a party with it, and you want to line dance and you want to do whatever. I'm reminded of my aunt's wedding. When I went to my aunt's wedding years ago when I was very young, it was in kind of like a wedding reception hall, and the other wedding that was going on were these mad cowboys, and they were all line dancing, and I was like, that's fucking weird. Like, I'm from Canada, right? I'm not from rural. I'm from a city. Yeah, we don't line dance in Montreal, let me tell you. So it was the first time I'd ever seen so many people line dancing together, and I was like, that's really weird. I know, I'm Canadian. I probably should have been involved in some sort of line dancing. You'd think so, right? But no. All right, but this cat, a two-faced friend and unsuccessful plans. So you are really looking for something that is loyal and good. And this cat here, there was something that came in, and yeah, it was pretty. It had nice, beautiful, slick fur. It was nice. It was warm and fuzzy, and it rumbled when you pat it, and everything was great. But it wasn't as nice as it seemed. It wasn't as conducive. Like it was like, it's like, yeah, it worked for a little while, but then all of a sudden it quickly went and pulled out its claws and scratched your face out, right? So unsuccessful plans. Whoever this two-faced person is, they're not going to succeed in whatever they were trying to manipulate you with. Okay, you're going to end up getting this pleasure with this friend of yours if you can just overcome whatever this cat has done to you and work a little bit harder. You've got to work a little harder on this. Okay, they're not, whatever this cat maybe has been threatening to do to you, they're not going to be successful, I promise. Okay, they're going to get over. Okay, Daddy's not gone back to the garage to play with his fucking motorbike just yet. Okay, he's still retrograde. And there's still plenty of time for this cat to be shown just how unsuccessful their plans were. All right, but remember, don't worry about what this cat is doing. Okay, put them aside. They are going to get theirs. Okay, you've got to worry about your dog. You've got to worry about this close-up dog. You've got to worry about this friendship and what effort it is that you have to put in order to get that. If you want to achieve your goal of pleasure with that close friend, you need to work a little bit harder. There's still something that has not yet come to full fruition. Okay? Communication is coming. No! Okay, so this brings me back to that dualistic energy like I was talking about in live the other day. You are going to know. You are dealing with a situation right now. It can be a person. It can be a situation. It can be, like you could be trying to make an offer on a house or buy a car, or you could be trying to get a job or whatever, or it could be you're actually dealing with a human being. Either way, this situation that is going to come back into play during Mercury retrograde is very dualistic. There are two sides of this coin. One party has been wronged and gave too much patience and leeway to another party that wronged them and knows very well that they have done so and feels remorseful for it now. It's trying to figure out how to go about this. Okay? You put yourself where you are. If you are the person that has been wronged, communication is coming, and don't go anywhere. You're going, oh, but maybe I should message them. No. Maybe I should follow up with the realtor again. No. Maybe I should just ask. No. Stop. You need to wait for the communication to come to you. If you are of the school of thought that you know very well that you have been uneven and unreciprocal, and you have been taking the piss, and you have been treating someone like a total knob, and you've been a little bit out of your integrity, the communication is not coming to you. You are the one that has to do the communicating. And some of you, it's not even with that other person. It's communication with yourself. Remember, this is Mercury retrograde. For some of you, you're going to need to sit back and wait for retrograde to end before you make any moves whatsoever. Some of you will reach that point where you cannot wait any longer. You must move forward now. Okay? And you'll know where you are. Hide and journey. They're saying you need to do a little bit of reflection on which part you are. Where are you in your journey? Check in with yourself and figure out where you are. If what I've been talking about with this dualistic energy has been confusing you and you're not quite sure which side of the coin you are, you have some soul searching to do. Retreat away from all of this external stimulus for a minute and take a journey into yourself. Because the only place that you will actually find answers is inside. Okay? That's that. All right, my darlings. I will see you later over on Instagram, and then I'll be back for another daily astrology Peephole tomorrow. But until then, I'm so sorry for anything you're going through. If I've made you feel a certain way, thank you for being a beautiful being and lending your energy to this glorious circuit I hold so dear. Thank you to your guides, my guides, the ascended masters, angels, and whatever energies are involved in giving us these beautiful, clear, concise messages whenever you find them, whether it be in the near, right now, or in the near distant future. I love you to the moon and the stars and infinity and beyond and back, and I accept this, and I hope you do too. Bye.